It's disappointing, obviously, with the result. There was a lot to like about the performance, but I suppose the red card made it an uphill struggle at that point.
Aye, no, listen. Firstly, I've got to congratulate the boys, the effort and the application that they put into that game. Even towards the end and stuff, you can see that, and they didn't deserve to be on the end of a scoreline like that for the efforts that they put in. Listen, in my opinion, the red card kills the game. But in saying that, we make a few changes and we're still competitive. We're a goal that's offside by a fraction, and a few decisions that didn't go away.
Felt really bad for Cammy Cooper because it looks like he is very, very marginally offside. It's a lovely finish as well, and at that point 2-2 would have probably been what we deserved.
Aye, and listen, I think like I said, I'm honest, and if I thought that Partick dominated and we were hanging on there and stuff, but even towards the end, the team with 10 and 9 men when Muzz goes off with an injury, you know, we're the ones that are flooding forward and looking to score goals and being on the front foot. And like I say, that it's hard for me, and it's difficult to come out and criticise any of the players or the individuals in the performance, because you see boys there, we looked fit, we looked strong, and if anything it looked like kind of Partick had the team with 10 men, but like I said, in my opinion, I'll go into it in too much detail, but in my opinion the officials kind of cancelled the game out.
The opening period, you kind of know, you come here, they always like to start fast, and they did so. I suppose the frustration is that we withstood a few moments and then concede the goal maybe a wee bit sloppily.
Aye, but again, the second goal is a message that I say as well. You know, Brian Graham's established, and that's what he does. He scores goals. He's a predator in the box, and we should have learned our lesson. And it was addressed at half time as well, that's a kind of warning, and it should be a slap on the wrist. And he obviously scores the second goal, and it's, again, he's clever, he's sharp in the box, and we've got to make sure that we're marking him, making sure that he's not got time and space. But like I said, I thought they started well for the first 10-15 minutes, and then once we got to grips with it, I think from about 20 minutes in, we were on the front foot, full energy, getting after them, hunting in packs, and I thought the performance was really good.
Obviously, it looked badly Morgan going to left back, and you've got Murray Aiken at right back. Not ideal, but they both, it's not exactly what they would say their first choice positions, but they both acquitted themselves well. I thought they were excellent, like I said, for two individuals who it's not their natural position to come up against. Aidan Fitzpatrick, Logan Chalmers, who are very, very good wingers in this league, and for Murray and look to deal with most of the game. And listen, there was times that they got caught out and stuff, but again, that's part of not playing that position. But I thought they handled the game really, really well. And like I said, they've done a job for the team, and no questions asked. They get their head down, and you see even Muzz towards the end there, you know, he's struggling with a kick that he had at half time, and he's a warrior. He battles through it, and he wants to give his all for the team. Good to see Tyrrell back fit enough to come off the bench. Lewis McGregor as well coming off the bench, so somebody's getting back. But I suppose the suspension won't help us with team selection next week.
It's a headache for sure, but listen, a positive, always try to see the positive, is that Lewis McGregor again coming back in gives you a different dynamic. Tyrrell getting the all clear from Middlesbrough to get ahead of schedule and come back, and he was available obviously for the bench, so it was important that we manage him as well. But he managed to get on the pitch, which was great from our side of things. And again, obviously Gratz gets red carded, which again I'll need to look back at it in detail, but from where we were standing, I think the reaction of the players and our players certainly was that a foul and he might get a yellow card, but there was no intent to dangerously harm the opposition player, which the referees kind of deemed that it was. And speaking to a few of the kind of Partick lads, congratulating them there at the end, kind of openly admit that the red card kills the game.
The bizarre kind of circumstances that meant the game was really delayed to kicking off, how's that to deal with in the situation where obviously you can't plan for it, your players are ready, fired up to go, and then there's a big delay to kick off? Is it difficult to keep them focused and occupied in that period?
Yeah, because the time you warm up and then you're cooling down and stuff as well. Again, I could go into kind of great detail that'll get me in trouble, but I'm not going to. It's part and parcel of football. The lads handled it kind of well. We just tried to juggle about our times, but listen, you've got officials, and it's not that you're being critical, but at the same time you're expecting that you should have a fourth official either on standby already, and the fact that we've had to wait 40 minutes for someone to come in who, in my opinion, is not up to speed, and then again knowing that the official wasn't fit before he arrived is a big worry.
We'll obviously just cut it there because it's very late and it's time to go home. Rhys, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Sam, obviously disappointed with the full-time result, especially down to 10 men. We stuck in there well, but what's your thoughts on the performance?
I thought coming out in the second half, I thought especially at the end of the first half, I thought we had him. And then obviously sending off so early on in the second half, like, it does kill the game. But I think we showed how resilient we were in that, like being 10 men, like we were resilient, block shots, putting bodies on the line, sprinting after people, working hard, and yeah.
The commitment was so obvious, you're right, the blocks that were putting in, and also really well organised. It wasn't like when it went to 10 men, it was an onslaught of chances and Murray's had to make loads of saves. We stood up and organised ourselves really, really well. I suppose the frustration is a very narrow offside call was all that stopped us getting a point from that.
Well, yeah, we had chances that end as well to get a goal and make it an all square and stuff like that, but like, that's how the game goes. Like, sometimes when you're down there, everything goes against you, but so only us in the building, we can change that. So we'll go back to work next week and work harder for the weekend.
The circumstances of the game are obviously bizarre. The delayed kick-off by it was pretty much half time. Was that something you've ever seen before in your career, and what was it like to deal with?
Seen it before, but it didn't really change much. We still knew what we had to do. We still knew how to approach the game and approach this team. So it didn't really change anything, to be fair.
When you're one of the obvious leaders in the squad, does it make it your job to keep everybody focused and make sure no one kind of gets distracted by those circumstances?
Well, yeah, just like when we went back in the changing room, we were just saying like, make sure we're focused. We came back out earlier, made sure we warmed up again, get the body going, and yeah. And I thought in the first half especially, I thought we had him on the ropes.
Kind of felt like half time came at the wrong time for us because we did seem to have the bit between our teeth. We got a really good goal. And I suppose that's football. Sometimes these things go against you. What's the thoughts going into next week? Is there stuff we can take from this going forward?
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely stuff we can take from it. Like the goal you're seeing, like our goal, like what play that was to then get the shot off and score the goal. Like it was good. There's so many like positives out of the game we can take into next week and start building something, start moving forward. Like lads, it shouldn't be like downbeat or anything like that coming into training next week. Should be positive. Like ready to work hard.
And I guess now that it's pretty much night time, we'll let you go. Thanks, Sam. Thank you very much.
Thank you.